dice after for pussies.
All right. Looks like we're live. So let's get down to this. All right. So you guys are going to be running Ultra Modern Spelljammer. Ultra Modern, for any people watching or anything else, is a fancy dancy little book. And it's basically set up for futuristic, for modern, does some historical, but it's much more of a modernized sort of setting. One of their settings they had was called Amethyst, and they also did Neurospasta, which is more cybernetic, shadowrunny sort of feel to it. So we decided to take Spelljammer, throw it about 1,400 years into the future. We're going to be using this. So while we're keeping the core idea of Spelljammer with your Scroll and your Illithids and Beholders and the Arcane and the Neogi and all that fancy Spelljammer stuff, the Spelljammer helms, the ships, things like that that give that iconic feel to Spelljammer are still there. You guys will still control your ships and everything, but everything has been far flung into the future where instead of swords and bows, and where I guess the gifts had some gun, but it's much more laser blades and cybernetic implants, high artillery rifles, missiles, shit like that. So everything, even though it has that core Spelljammer feel, it's going to be much more, I guess for lack of a better term, Star Wars-y in feeling as far as kind of mashing the two settings together. So the four of you are playing Illithids in this game. Last season, you played Scroll, and the core plot of that whole thing was the four of you, all slaves to the Neogi, were able to break free from your mind control of the spider-like creatures. You ended up overthrowing, well, not really overthrowing the hive, but escaping from the hive you were a part of, getting the ship, headed out into the Phlogiston, into the crystal spheres of Spelljammer. You guys traveled around a little bit, met some different people. Ultimately, you learned about this cube that you had to travel to where your destiny was supposed to be there. You guys were known as the Blood Star Saviors. And it was prophesied that all of you would, through one way or another, revive a god who would in turn help liberate your people and break free from the Neogi and rebuild the Scroll Empire to what it was. The Scroll are supposed to be the natural rulers of the galaxy. And last season, you guys did that. You traveled through, you revived the god of wrath and revenge. His name was Skurkrish. He gave you characters some arcane items, some relics. You ended up taking the fight down to the Neogi. You fought the Neogi hive mind, this great, huge, spider-like, slimy, titanous beast type thing. Scrambled up that thing, ultimately destroyed it. I don't remember exactly who all won. I remember the ending with you guys like flying through the tunnels. Somebody was saved. Ultimately, you guys saved the day, though. And with that, it ushered in a whole new era of the Scroll rulership over the galaxy with this god who's been revived, Skurkrish. He was able to start building the empire of the Scroll once again. More and more were freed. Everybody knows orcs breed like rabbits, so through the heavy breeding, and they started slowly building out more and more. Now, granted, it took 1,400 years because this game takes place, 1,400 years later. So at this time, the Scroll Empire is just absolutely massive. Technology is advanced in leaps and gains, much like our real world compared to 1,400 years ago to where it is now. Even more so, though, as you guys do have space travel, you have cybernetic implants. You find out that a lot of these guys have really crazy weapons. Mike's character can do all sorts of shit. So the last season, when it all came down to an end, and I'll link a video down below in this chat here, that kind of takes you over to a trailer of what to expect for this season. In this case, all four of you, our four players here, are playing Illithids. The Illithids, or the Mind Flayers, are one of the few last remaining races who haven't fallen to the Scroll yet. And I say yet because when things kick off, your original planet, which it's called Glyth, I believe, or something like that. Glyth, Glyth, is the home planet of the Illithids. That has been destroyed by the Scroll. Somehow, somewhere down the line, the Scroll were able to get the coordinates, and they just come in and completely wiped your planet. There's 5 massive ships. They're called Wardens. They're basically city-sized, think like Manhattan or London-sized ships that are piled on with Illithids. And these 5 warden ships have kind of spun out into space in different directions. They keep a unified military together, and they're looking for ways to finally bring the Squirrel tyranny to an end. A lot of the other races, your dwarves, have pretty much been wiped out. Elves have been pretty much wiped out. Humans are still, there's so many of them. But again, a lot of them have been wiped out. They're just pocket battles around space. The arcane, these very tall, magical, blue-type beings, they mostly remain as a neutral benefactors of this. They have a lot of the technology and resources to help provide for the Skrull, so they haven't really been affected too much, but they're kind of sort of the allies of the Skrull. They're the ones who are supplying them with a lot of stuff. Then again, as long as the Mind Flayers pay up, they would be happy to provide for them as well. Over this time, the Skrull have been building more and more and more resources. Their technology has been advancing more and more. All of you as the Illithids were able to backwards technology and figure out, how they are getting the stuff. It's not sure where the Skrull got their technology. It's said that they went to the far reaches of space somewhere and were able to get a few secrets. They brought that in and just kept building on it. And so by far, they are the most technologically advanced race of the stars. The Illithids come in with a close second, being that you're able to take a lot of what they had and build your own technology along with your own intelligence and start merging all this together. The Skrull are much more military-based, high weaponry, missiles, and tanks, or, well, I guess space tanks, much more focused on the military aspect of technology. Whereas the Illithids, while you have your own military levels, it's much more cybernetic and internal stuff on a personal basis compared to large weaponry. And I think that basically covers what it is. Over this 1400 years span, there's been 2 major world wars, or galactic wars. The first one was, again, both were from the Skrull. The first one just started getting them branched out a little bit more and more, but ultimately it was squashed and they had to rebuild. The second time around is when everything hit the fan, and that's where we are now. So as the scenes pick up, I'm going to go through and I'll let you guys introduce each of your characters, and then we'll start off with the basic idea of what's going on and set the scene. I don't know if you guys want to add anything else about the last game, or, I mean...
There were almost no survivors.
Yeah, I can't... I was meant to go back and watch exactly who it was, but I remember like 2 of you guys survived and you were racing down the tunnel to escape, but you went back and you picked up the others. I don't remember who actually died.
I'm pretty sure I was down.
I bet I died.
I just remember, scraping people off the...
Yep.
I think Mother survived, though.
Mother was with the god.
Yeah,
Yep.
she was the progenitor of an entire race, really.
I think I survived.
She's the real winner.
She became his mistress.
Yeah.
Wasn't I piloting? I don't know.
Yep, you were piloting. I remember that. And I believe it was Wes's character who was with you still alive, because he had the barbarian with max hit points. I know Rob was down.
Hell yeah.
And I think you guys just flew back through, picked him up. Ultimately, you all survived in the end, but it was just really good rolls of you guys being able to fly through this tunnel, pick these guys up, and escape from this Neogi hive mind as everything was collapsing. And thus you ushered in the Skrull New World Order.
NW Skrull.
NW Skrull. Scrotal annihilation.
Right.
All right. So I'll just swing right across the bottom of my screen, let you guys introduce your characters, tell us what they look like, and some basics about it, and then I'll run in and fill in the details of where you're at now, and we will go ahead and start this campaign. So, I guess, Rob, you're the first one on my left, so if you want to go first.
Sounds good. So I'm playing Svuoordim Quaophrayage, also known as just Svoo, because screw saying that all the game. I'm an Illithid, obviously. I'm a gunslinger. So I'm very, very fast, and I shoot even faster. I'm albino, or albino, if you're from where everyone else is in this game. So I was abandoned as a child by my parents. They just left, and I as a result, have sort of blocked out a lot of the bad memories of my childhood. So I've got some pretty severe amnesia and have no idea about my previous life. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. I'd just like to apologize in advance because I plan on doing a somewhat American accent. So
I'm sure that'll be beautiful.
Apology accepted.
Well, in fantasy games, everyone does British accents, so let's just kill it, all right?
This ain't fancy, so bring us your best American accent. Gene, you'd be the next one.
All right, so I'm playing Kullisk the Fist, Illithid martial artist, and he's out to avenge that they killed his teacher, so he's out to get them back and that sort of thing. He is skinny for an Illithid, I guess. Tall, wears a duster and a wide brim hat, which is a little bit Western looking, but he's a martial artist nonetheless. He in addition to being your standard martial artist, he also has training in monkey kung fu, and he's had a few drunken boxing. And he's always having a few, just putting it out there.
Those Illithid monkeys,
yeah, I know, that's right. Don't mess with it, yeah. Mind Flayer monkey.
Beautiful. Oh, Mike, you mind giving us a rundown?
Yeah, sure. All right, so Maza Tharn here. It's I don't know. It's kind of like a mixture between the Predator, if you guys are familiar, and like Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean, like dreadlocks with tentacles. Yeah, he's got a shitload of cyber in him. He's got all kinds of fancy schmancy implants and stuff, and he can do all kinds of cool shit with technology. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Beautiful. And Wes, how about Yogg?
Yes, I am Yogg Sithar. Yes, I am driver. I drive ship like you. I am very good at. I also like shooting things, drinking. Yogg Sithar loves drinking with little Buddy. I can never remember his name. Queef or something like that. And yeah, he's good drinking buddy. That's all that matters. And we're going to have a good time.
Sweet. All right. So we got Rob as Svoo, Wes is Yogg, Gene is, how do you pronounce it, Kullisk? So that I get that right.
Hey, the name's Kullisk the Fist. Yeah.
Kullisk.
I almost forgot to do my voice.
And Maza. All right. So the four of you, we're all part of the military. How you fit into it, or whatever the case might be, what team or whatever, isn't really too important. You can make that up as you go along and do whatever you want with that. But ultimately, you were part of the military, of the Illithid military. And the planet that you were from, Glyth, it was ransacked roughly 23 days ago. From what you know, being, part of the military, it's not, all the details weren't explicitly clear, but the Illithid military was preparing to have a mass attack, several ambushings, and basically enter this war with something major at hand. And they were planning to deliver like a devastating blow to the Skrull. Exactly what that is, you don't know. But regardless, before all of this could happen, word was somehow leaked, something happened, and the Skrull attacked Glyth. They came in with massive warships, shock troops, innumerable amounts that well overran what your own race and slaves could even muster. With that, they pretty much just walked right across your planet, completely wiping it. 5 major ships called Wardens, Warden the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, were able to escape from Glyth. Each one roughly the size of Manhattan. These great, huge spelljamming vessels carry between 10 to 15,000 Illithid on each ship, along with all of their slaves. Probably close to 1 million individuals on each ship. Each one has split off into the galaxy, heading in different directions. They felt that it was very important for all of you not to be within the same confines of each other. That way, if the Skrull were able to find any of the wardens, they weren't able to wipe you all out. Only one would be able to get hit, and the others would at least get news and be able to remobilize. Like I said, that was 23 days ago. In between these 23 days, it wasn't long after all of you boarded the Warden, you got out of there, and you're in space for several days, that all of you were brought in before the judges, charged with treason, each one of you. You were all part of a military team. You'd be familiar with one another, whether you were on the same exact enforcement or this commando squad. It's totally up to you guys, really. But you all worked together at some point. You were all part of the same squads, same group. And for whatever reason, whether you guys know it or not, you were charged with treason. You were charged with giving away this information to the Skrull, letting them know what was going to happen when this right time to attack Glyph would be. And all of you were found guilty. And so with that, all of you are sitting in a circular-sized room, maybe 20, 25 feet in diameter, sitting in basic metal chairs. It has no bottom, so your ass cheeks just hang out the bottom. Strapped down, your arms attached to the arm pads on the chair, your back sitting up straight. You got a couple heavy leather bands around your chest, around your legs, and around your ankles that hold you down into these chairs. You see 4 Illithid in front of you. 2 are just your basic grunt soldiers, basic military relief, these long purpley sort of tentacles hanging down. They have the basic uniforms that you once wore as well when you were just training. The other 2 wear heavy, silken, gold and purple colored robes. You know that they are what they call the High Priests or the High Scions. There's 7 of them aboard the Warden, along with 1 Elder Brain, what they call the Judge. The 2 High Scions that stand before you, stopping before each one of you, and they hold a small little purple disc that they hold up in front of you. You can see this laser kind of scan down your body, come back up it, and then it zooms back into this disc. And each one goes across in front of you, scanning your body almost. And they step back a little bit and place these discs on a table, and you can see that they disappear. When you look over to your left, one whole half of the circular room is just a mirror. You look back and you see yourself and your 3 other comrades that are there with you. And each one of you can see each other. If you turn to the right and you look, it's just a solid open window, just a regular glass window. On the other side, you see Thid, a very powerfully built mind flayer, but a little abnormal for your kind. I mean, he makes even the strongest of you look rather puny. Stands roughly 7.5 feet tall. Very, very powerful, muscular built. He doesn't wear any sort of shirt. He has leather bindings around each arm. You see these muscles bulge out a bit. It's been quite rumored that he's shooting up the steroids a little bit on the juice. And he stares back at you with these pale, white, glossy eyes. He has a simple pair of like pantaloons on, which you recognize from the blood tentacle monks. And as I said, his name is Thid. All of you would recognize him. He is the leader of the blood tentacle monks, a very powerful warrior, and is just a step below the Elder Brain. And he stands behind this glass window, just watching each of you. You'd be one of the High Scions who condemned you to this fate that you're sitting in. Behind you is a tall glass node. Looks like almost a light bulb. You can see the electricity in it zimbling up and down these wires on the inside. Occasionally, one will run across the ground and through your chair, giving you a little bit of a zap and uncomfortable feeling, but not hurting you very much. These 2 military grunts each kind of step back out of the way a little bit. And you see one of the High Scions also step back, just leaving the one who stands in front of each of you. You recognize him as much as you can, exactly what his name was, or seems to be lost. can't quite remember. In fact, you don't really remember why you're here. You have a recognition that you were perhaps framed or something. And you see this Illithid as he sits forward a little bit, leans over top of this little podium that he's standing at. You each have been charged with treason against the Republic of Othugothagu. Incriminating evidence has been compiled, scanned, and researched. By the judgment of the Elder Brain, you are guilty. Your thoughts have been tapped and your cores preserved, and new clonetic tadpoles are being compiled and formatted for regrowth within the pool. Good riddance. Puts his hands down, steps back a little bit. You all feel the sharp pain of electricity course through your body for just a second. Smell of copper and sulfur in the air. And I need a Constitution save from everybody.
Oh, damn. Fuck. I just crit failed. Oh. What did you do to me, Morgan?
What the rest of you got?
That is an 18, sir.
Gotcha.
15.
19.
15 and 19.
Yeah.
Yogg says, "This is bullshit," as he's getting hit.
Svoo, 14 damage. The rest of you take 7. And you feel this course of electricity just rip through your body for a second. And then it stops. This Illithid just stands at the podium, just smiles. But that was just a taste. Perhaps we should throw out the switch. Motions over to the other one. You see this other grunt step by and walk over. And he grabs a hold of this lever on the wall. And as he starts to crank it up, you feel more and more electricity start to course through your body. The room begins to sparkle a little bit. The edge of your vision, it starts to darken. You can feel your consciousness start to get drained away. Your body start to give out. And then this mirror-like window on the one side just completely blows apart and shatters. See what looks to be an old tunnel rover. They look like a underground vehicle, sorts the Illithids use in all the sewer systems in the underground levels. Smashes through this whole window. Smashes into the side of Quaophrayage, your chair. You can feel your bindings give away where they get ripped apart, letting you free of this chair. Inside, you see this large Illithid, very obese, this great big belly, kind of looks like he drinks a bit too heavily. Friend of yours, probably. As he stands up, kind of cracks his knuckles a little bit. Says, "Well, what are we going to do? We're going to wait here all day to free you assholes. Let's go." Everybody roll initiative.
Yay. 12.
That's 20. 12 for Gene.
That's another 18.
18. And Wes, what'd you get?
13.
13. So Svoo, Maza, Yogg, and Quaophrayage. So Svoo, you're up first. You can feel these electricity start to course through your body. You're not free. The only person that got free a little bit from this was Quaophrayage. But you can see BT Haggis, this massive Illithid, this big saggy gut hanging out the front, reaches back and he kind of flings around. You see this large rifle. The power end of it starting to light up with a flare. "You boys better watch out." And with that, Svoo, you were up first, but the course of electricity is ripping through your body, so I need that con save first.
12.
That's a failure. 10 more damage. And what do you do?
And I'm assuming it's not feasible for me to attempt to break out of these binds.
You could certainly try. Either a strength or a dex.
What kind of binds are they? Because they're not rope anymore, I assume. It's more like...
Yeah, it's more like heavy leathery bandings. It has, it's kind of reinforced with some steel braiding, but...
yeah, I think I'm just going to try and start shifting my chair towards the big guy.
All right.
And like scoot myself, basically. And maybe fall on the ground to get under cover as well. Sort of keep over sideways.
All right.
Just getting out of the line of fire.
You scoot over a little bit and able to kind of push yourself over. You hit the ground a little bit hard. This electricity still going through your body. But Give yourself +2 AC for cover at the moment. And with that, Maza, you would be up next. Again, you're not free. It's just all of this is going down. You can still feel that electricity. So I need a con save first.
Sure. Fuck. That is a 6.
It's 11 damage then. And
Okay.
what do you do?
So yeah, like I'm totally just gonna try and struggle against whatever these restraints are that are holding me down. Try and bust free.
Try to wiggle free or bust free?
We will try to wiggle, I suppose.
All right. Give me acrobatics or dex, whichever is better.
That is a crit fail on my part, so I don't know how you want to do that, but it's a 2 total.
All right. Well, in that case, start wiggling free as you kind of shift your back a little bit. You can feel one of your legs break free down below a little bit, kind of slip out of the binds, but you slide down a little bit, and you feel one of these leather bands just kind of come up, kind of scrapes across the side of your face, just sending more electricity through you straight to the brain. Take 7 more damage as you just start to fry in your seat. Besides you, Qualis, you can smell the brain juice begin to boil in his head a
Calamari.
little bit. The calamari
Calamari right now.
permeates the room, and that would be Yogg. You are up. Same thing, but I need a con save first.
Okay. That would be a failure.
All right. 14 damage. And again, it looks like you're the closest to this bulb of electricity that's been just running up and down this glass node of some sort. You scoot your chair back a little bit. The smashing of this window is throwing you back a few feet, and your chair kind of hits back against this glass tube, and it just rips once again through your body. Your whole body starts vibrating. You can feel, I don't know if Illithids have teeth or gums, but you can feel your tentacles chattering or smackering.
It's
I'd
probably
like
like a
to.
beak thing.
I'd like to determine where the off switch is for this thing.
You can see it off to your left, like right across on the other side of the room, probably about 15 feet from where you're at.
I want to do anything I can to get to it. Throw myself against the switch to turn it off. What would that take?
Let's go with, I'm going to say athletics.
Okay. So just strength then, right?
Yep, it's a skill in there actually. But I don't know if it is a, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, just strength.
All right, so 16.
Nice. So yeah, you wobble your chair. You can see Svoo in the corner there as he's trying to wobble his chair, and he just hits the ground hard. His body's still vibrating on the ground. The face of Maza's getting fried. His brain juice smelling up the room like calamari. You're able to keep bouncing your chair over and over. Just beside you, you see where this lever is, but your hands are still bound to the chair. But you can, it's a little bit above your head, so you're going to have to get your arms free or something to reach up and actually pull it down to stop this.
Tentacles. I'm going to use my face tentacles.
Beautiful. So yeah, they reach up, kind of snake up, just rubbing just barely against the tip of this lever, trying to get a hold of it. As you turn to the side, you see the soldier who's standing there, who hit the lever to begin with, look at you. He flips around his rifle so it has the butt end of this thing, getting ready to crack you in the head. Let's see what your AC is. And that would be a hit. So 7 more damage. See this Illithid turn around the butt of his rifle, and you just bring it smash right into the center of your face. You can feel your forehead and whatever this section of an Illithid is called as it splits open a little bit, the blood kind of dribbling down your tentacles, and then bam, another one, and a third.
It was one shot. It was one shot.
You see his tentacles kind of wave in this mocking sort of smile. As it looks back, he brings its rifle up again, just getting ready to smash your head once more, and then he just blows apart into pulp on the wall. You can hear the explosion of BT's rifle. Ah! Let's go, boys. We don't have time for this. Hurry up. Break them free. Break them free. Qualis, yes, Qualis, you are free. Or up. You are the only one who's free, so.
All right. So if I'm, did he like wreck my chair or just break my? Okay. So I'm going to pick up a broken bit of chair, and I'm going to immediately start just like whack, whack, whack on the bindings, like one hand, right? Just like to free each of my companions, or as many as I can.
Oh, well, you pick one and reach it.
All right, whoever's next to me. Who hasn't acted yet? Who's about to try to strain against this? Is that me? Am I last?
You're last, yep.
Okay, so I will Svoo, I guess, is nearby.
I was gonna say I scooted over, so I guess I'd be.
Yeah, that would
he's like
sense.
twitching on the floor by your feet at the moment.
Yeah, I'll slash the bindings to free him, and move toward the other two. If I can only free one at a time, that's what I'll do.
All right. Break him free. So you feel your slashings or your bindings gets torn apart. This electricity still trickles. Your body's still twitching a bit, but you're able to break yourself free from this chair. As you turn, Quaophrayage can start to move over. You see one of these high scions step in front of you. These tentacles lash out towards you. And that would be a 28. That's a critical. So first I need a dex save from you.
Natural 20 plus 4, so 24. Oh no, because that's a 27 actually, because I have proficiency.
Either way, that's totally cool. So you feel one of them, they're able to not grab a hold of your head fully, but they quickly lash out. You feel one smack the side of your face. You can feel these sharp barbs stick into the side of your skin and just rip free. Another one kind of across your chest as this thing tries to get a hold of you. His hands come out, grabbing a hold of your shoulders, trying to bind you up. You're able to get free, but you're going to take 10 damage.
Hey, don't mess up the face. Yeah.
And with that, from the corner of all your eyes, you look over and you can see behind this window this very strong, powerful looking Illithid just kind of crosses his arms, taking in this whole scene for a moment. Reaches down in front of him and he picks up what looks to be this almost like a cigar. Puts it up under his tentacles a little bit, sticking out kind of kitty corner. One of these tentacles wrapping around it to hold it into place. And he turns and he walks away toward, I guess it would be to all of your left. You'd be familiar with the area. You know that there's a door on that side that will circle around and come back into this room. He doesn't seem to be any sort of hurry as he makes his way towards you guys. And that leaves the one more soldier. Seeing you on the ground, Svoo, as you start to pick yourself up, you can see in the corner this flash as this silent sort of trigger goes off. The soldier coming towards you, this long end of his rifle, but the front end of it looks to be blazing with this blue sort of light. Yeah, it basically is like a stun baton, you would know. And that's another 20.
Fucking goddamn it.
I need a dex save from you.
17.
That's cool. So you're not going to be stunned, but... And I rolled 2 10s, so that's 20 damage.
I have 1 hit point left.
And once again, this thing just courses through your body. This is 10 times worse than just the simple electric chair that you were in. Your whole body goes numb, twitching on the ground. And with that, you can see he lifts this end of his rifle up and kind of flings it over his back. His foot of his, this big heavy boot on his foot, lifts up, getting ready to just crush your head into the floor. And that's the end of that round. So up to the top, Svoo, you are up first.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try and roll out the way. I'm gonna try and just. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and escape. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm just like in desperation.
BT's get on the cot. Get on the cot.
Yeah.
He's like reaching down, trying to lift you up and throw you towards this huge cart.
Yeah. If he throws me too hard, they'll die. 1 damage.
So you're just trying to get out of there. All right.
Yeah, I'm like scrabbling out of desperation.
Maza, you would be up next then.
All right. So yeah, I'm still just kind of like all crackling and sparking and shit from the last round of electricity. So
you're still bound.
Down.
I need a con save
totally.
actually.
All right. Yeah, totally. For a 18.
That's a success. It's only half. 4 damage.
4 damage. Owie.
And-
All right, so yeah, I'm totally gonna like reach down with one of my tentacles and press a button in my chest, and then this like little like needle thing is gonna kind of just pop out and then inject itself like slightly a couple inches over beside of itself, and I'm gonna heal myself for 10 points because ow. And that's a bonus action mechanically if you're at all interested.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm just gonna continue like trying to struggle and get free as best as I can because this thing really fucking hurts.
Sweet. Want to try and wiggle free or bust free? So either strength checks, whichever, acrobatics, whichever one's your better one.
All right, so that is a 12 to wiggle free.
Not quite, but I'll give you advantage on your next one. As you kind of slip between, you're able to pull your head free from this one that's been kind of crossed across your face. There's still the heavy leather strap across your stomach and one of them on your left leg that binds your thigh down to the chair as you start to slowly pull yourself free. So make a note that you have advantage on the next round to finish breaking free.
Sounds good.
And with that, it would hop over to Yogg. You see this guy in front of you just get blown into pulp across the wall. Your tentacles just barely reaching the edge of this lever. But first, I need a con save, and then let me know what you do.
Okay. That's a 10.
Which is a full. Oh, I know, not too bad actually. 7 damage. And yeah, your tentacles right there, just kind of brushing against the tip of this lever, trying to get to it. What do you do?
I'm just gonna go ahead and try to break out, and then if I can, I know it's into him, so let me try that. And I fail. I rolled a 3.
So yeah, you try to. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I'm just trying to reach with my tentacles. Then I'm like, I look down at my arms and I try to struggle with my arms, and then I get hit with another jolt, and I'm just like,
And that guy is dead. So with that, as you start to vibrate more of this electricity going through, you see this glass node right up. It started out as this bluish sort of color, turning a bit more darker purple. It's almost black at this point as the electricity reaches full scale, getting ready to just completely fry the lot of you. As you sit in your chair, vibrating, Yogg, from the corner of your eyes, everything starts to go dim. You see BT as he runs over towards you. You can feel this heavy grip on your chest. These bindings, you can hear them from the corner. They almost sound like they're snapping free. Give me one more con save, though, first. What'd you get? Are you still with us? Oh, he's...
Can you hear me?
Yep, now I do.
All right. I don't know why that didn't work.
14?
Yep.
All right, yeah. So only one more point of damage in that case. From electricity, as you're ripped free, you can feel your body just getting dragged across the floor as you're kind of in and out of consciousness at the moment. But you can see BT's huge maw of a fist kind of wrapped around the side of your head and on your chest as he's pulling you away. So he's going to take his action to pull you free, which would throw it over to Qualisk. You are up.
All right, so am I right in thinking that 3 of the 4 are now freed?
Yep, Maza is the only one who's not fully free yet. You can see he's struggling. He's almost free, but not quite.
So if he were... Is he the only one also in danger of being electrified?
Yep, on his next turn, he would be getting the full brunt. This thing would be at full power.
All right. And are there any foes in the room?
Yep, there's one soldier left, and one of the scions just took off running, but there's still the other one that's in the room that is right in front of you, attacking you at the moment.
Okay. So I will. All right. So could I? Let me see how this works. This is the rules. All right. So I'm going to use a martial arts style. I'm going to engage a martial arts discipline, and it's going to be monkey kung fu. So that will be worthwhile. And I'm going to to hell with it. I'm going to hit this guy, martial art style, punch him, and let's see how that goes. So attack number 1, I get a +7 to hit.
Armor class is 19 on this guy.
All right. Well, I just rolled a natural 19, so I'm sure that's a hit at 26. And that is 1d6 plus 7. Plus 6, because I'm not wearing my brass knuckles. So I rolled a 6, so that's 12 for the first hit. And that raises my combo chain to tier 2, which means that I am hitting with... all right, so I can do a finishing move if I hit again. All right, so I'm going to hit him again because I get 2 attacks. All right, that one is 19 as his AC.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a miss. All right, so I guess that means I can't do the finishing move after a successful attack. Nope. All right, so the combo drops to 0, back down, and that's a bust. So I'm now going to just do my bonus action attack as a martial artist. So 1 more punch. And that was another natural 19. So that's another hit. And that's another 6. So 12 more damage. And I'm at tier 2 again. So I'm going to do my little finishing, whatever tier 2 finishing move. Which one should I do? Let's see. I can take another attack, or I can... all right, so I'm going to resolve damage for my last hit and use my the follow through to knock the target prone, as long as he's not a larger size than me.
Nope, he's the same size.
So I knock him prone, which then allows me to either take advantage against my next attack, which I won't, or disengage for free. So I'm going to the second hit or the third hit. So I can imagine I run up to him, I punch him right in the face. I punch again, but he gets out of the way. But then I spin around and give him a kind of a kick to the side of the head, knocks his ass on the ground, and then that allows me to run over and just slam right into that power lever, turn off the electricity.
All right. So yeah, you see he hits the ground hard, completely, unexpecting this from you. He kind of sprawls out on the ground, step over top of him. As soon as you hit this lever, you can see all of this electricity just kind of powers down from this thing. Maza, you can feel your body tense up for a moment, getting ready for that last course of energy, and it just dies off.
And that would look around, like waiting for it, like, come on, wait, clenched all, clench, and then nothing. He's like, what the shit?
And that would leave, he's prone. So yeah, the Scion's gonna stand up. See him pull himself up from the ground as you hit that lever in the distance. Behind him, he pulls out what looks to be one of these round discs, like he scanned your bodies with. This one, though, is red. All he does is drop it on the ground. This thing shatters into like thousands of little shards of glass, and they lay there for just a second. Then you see all these little pieces of glass start to spin around on the ground, lifting up a little bit, almost like this small bit of, almost like a tiny little whirl or a tornado spinning in front of him. He looks up at you, Kowalsk, stares at you for a moment, and then you see all these shards of glass just whoosh towards your direction. I need a dex save. You're muted.
Right, here I'll use my monkey kung fu. So I have 4, when I activate this discipline, I get 4 monkey points. That's right. And I can spend a monkey point automatically to pass a dex saving throw.
Nice. Okay.
So I will just be. So I'm like dancing around on the ground. Like if you've ever actually seen somebody do monkey kung fu, like I'm jumping around, right? And so these glass shards come shooting at me, and I just like jump off the wall and do a little backflip. And I guess some of them probably still hit me, but not as many.
It's going to take 4, just 10 damage. Then a few of these pieces, kind of dig into your leg a little bit as you flip off the wall and land. Most of them just embed themselves into this wall. As you turn around to look at this guy, you can see he's just running from the room at a full sprint. And that leaves the one soldier who's left. He looks at you, Svoo, as you get thrown into the back of this cart. He looks over at BT and Yogg as he's dragging you towards the cart. And he looks at Maza, who's now free. You can see he just drops his gun, steps a few steps back, turns and runs out of this room. As he hits to the doorway, he gets ready to turn. You see this huge muscular hand just grab him by the face. With just a little simple flick, his head just kind of snaps to the side and his body drops. In the doorway, you see Thid as he steps up, ducking down underneath this hallway a little bit. He looks a little bit even bigger than you remember him before. He shrugs his shoulders back a little bit. This tight pantaloon thingies that he has on his pants look a little bit bulged out more. His muscles glow with a sort of greenish color in the veins. He scans the room. All he could do is move, though. So, back to the top, Svoo. You're thrown into the back of this thing. You see BT coming in your direction, carrying Yogg. Quaophrayage monkey flipping and doing his thing on the wall. Maza's pulling himself out of the chair. What do you do?
Is there anything in the back with me?
Looks like there's 4 large bundles, like duffel bag type things.
All right, I'm going to start going through those, but try and stay low.
Right. Start ruffling. You see, as you kind of ruffle through, it's just full of gear. One of them is all of your gear, though, whatever your basic gear with military gear. And you probably would recognize it's basically everybody's duffel bags that were taken.
Yeah, I'm just going to use my turn then to just put my armor on and get set up.
And let's see, down to Maza. He would be next.
Just because I'm curious, is there anything around that looks like it would still have a, relatively intact brain?
Well, he got smushed. He ran away. If you want to go over to Thid's duel, him and the dead bodyguard that is at his feet.
I'll let them wait for the moment, I guess. So yeah, I'll go over and I'll start getting my shit back out of the bag. So
you're running over from there. And Yogg.
And random are we counting this as like a rest or anything? Sorry.
Not yet, because you're still in initiative. Because
Okay.
you got Thid's duels coming into the room. So.
Still fucking there.
So did BT? What he was?
Yeah, he grabs a hold of you and drags you over. You can feel yourself kind of thrown into the shotgun seat of this passenger seat of this underground cart.
Is there anyone in the driver's seat?
Not yet, but you can see he'd be climbing over to get into it, yelling at Quaophrayage and Maza to get their asses into the cart.
I say, "Let me drive," and I'm kind of like throwing up a little bit.
He just pushes you back down your seat. Now you sit there for the time being. We got to hurry. Get out of here. Don't worry about yourself. Just get your bearings.
I'm like almost passing out, but I don't trust you.
Shut up, Yogg. We don't have time for this.
And I want to do. I do have proficiency in computers, and I want to know what it would take for me to do anything I can to put the settings on this digger that would help us. If there's any kind of like weapons that I might be able to use from the passenger seat, anything. That's what I want to use my turn to do is, a computer use check to see if I can do anything to better our chances from the passenger seat.
All right. Doesn't have any weapons on it, but I'll give him an advantage on his driving check to help you guys escape.
Yes, excellent.
Maz or Yogg is up. So Quaophrayage, you would be up.
All right, so they're getting in the vehicle,
Yep. It'd be Svoo, Yug, and Maza would all be getting in the vehicle. BT's getting into it as well. Thid stands in the doorway. He's starting to walk in. He's like 15, 20 feet away from you.
All right.
His eyes kind of, lack over at those guys as they're all getting in the thing. You can see BT starting up the engine on this thing. The tires getting ready to go. You're off to the side. He just looks at you, a smile on his face.
All right. Tempting. But I think we all know that discretion's the better part of valor here. So I'm not in the drunken boxing style. If I were, I'd just go for it. But monkey kung fu, right? So I will bounce off the wall, do a backflip, and run towards the truck. But while I'm doing so, I will just throw that broken piece of chair I was holding at him, and improvise weapon style. And or maybe on second thought, maybe I'll just give him a mind blast. That's what I'll do. I just was looking at my sheet and I'm like, oh yeah, I can totally mind blast him. Then I will run and hop into the truck. I don't have the sheet for what mind blast does in front of me. I can open it in just a sec here. It's in the folder because you posted it open.
It's a DC 14 check that you have to make against it, and then you do 3d4. Well, that's why I've written down.
Yeah, so I have 8 plus intelligence modifier plus proficiency bonus. So in this case, that's going to be 2 plus 3 is 5. So 8 plus 5 is 13. And it's going to be 3d4. Yep. So I'll roll my 3d4 damage, and you tell me whether he takes half or all. But I just want to give him a little taste of what's to come.
It's all creatures in a 15-foot cone.
So that's only going to be him, though, right?
Yeah.
All right, 3d4 coming up. 1, good start. 1. And 1. I rolled 3 ones. All right, so I did 3 points of damage if he fails the save. 1 point of damage if he makes the save.
Yeah, I passed.
You know what? I'm fine if you don't bother with the save.
Yeah, he passed anyway, so yeah, it doesn't even seem to look at it. See this end of the cigar, his tentacles wrapped around, flares into life at the edge. He kind of cracks his knuckles a little bit as you rush over this thing. BT just slams on the gas in this thing, throws it in reverse as you guys are flying backwards up this tunnel a little ways. Slams on the brakes. You guys kind of fling around the corner a little bit, do this little 180 thing. He reaches over, just kind of putting his hand on you, Yog, throwing you back into the seat. Put on your seatbelt, boys. It's going to be a rough one. Seriously, I wasn't kidding. Put on your seatbelts. And he just sits there waiting for you.
Yeah, I got to see that one.
All of you glance behind, and you can see you're in a tunnel, probably about 15 feet in diameter, with a road that kind of goes up the middle of it. There's large crates packed on different sides, some barrels and stuff. It's basically like the undercity of the Warden. They have roads and everything down there, but it's sort of like a sewer system, but it's not like gross. It's regular roads, just underground roads, basically. And he sits there waiting, make sure you're all buckled in before he does anything. If you look behind you, you can see a few of these small little drones pull themselves free from the walls, almost spider-like, and they clamber down. You can see these wheels or these legs kind of tuck in a little bit, and wheels pop out as they start to race towards your vehicle. There's 4 of them in total. With that, he sits there waiting for each of you to buckle up before finally he hits the gas once again. The tires spin on this thing, and he takes off down this road. And let me give a driving check. He has advantage, which actually worked out good because I rolled a 4 and then a 20. So yeah, he races down this thing. Yog, you're in the passenger seat, so that means the 3 of you are back in. It looks basically like a golf cart. So it has the 2 seats in the front, but the back end is just like the cab of a little truck. The other 3 of you are back there with your duffel bags and stuff. As you look back, you can see 4 of these drones coming up behind you. You can hear this grinding sound as this turret kind of pops up behind one of them. And then as they start to flare to life, bullets just spray across the ground. And they actually start the initiative. Svoo, you go first before they can act, though. So you are up first.
And because I'm strapped in, there's no real way of me dodging this. So, I am just gonna, yeah, screw it. I'm just gonna fire. Got nothing better to do. So I imagine I just sort of pull out my 2 revolvers that I've missed so dearly and just start like almost half looking and just firing as much as I can. Okay. 1 is going to be a 24 and 1 is going to be an 8.
The 24 hits.
Okay.
And do you want to hit drone number 1, 2, or 3? Strangely, they all marked with very large numbers in red painted along the sides.
I'll hit number 1 for 6 points of damage. Do I want to? No, I'll just save all that. Yeah, I'm just going to do that.
So you hear this ting as your bullet smacks into this thing. It kind of grinds a little bit to the side, straighten itself back out, and coming up behind the other 2, catching back up. And again, all their turrets go off at once as they all just start spinning. The wall sprayed with bullets behind you. You can feel the back end of this truck as bullets just ricochet off the side of it. And let's see, this attack's going to be on who's in the back. So Svoo, this one's on you. That's a miss. Regardless, Qualis, this one's on you. That would be a 22. Yeah. And Maza, this one would be on you, and that's a 17, which is a miss. No, 16 is here. That's a hit.
Yep, that's it.
So let's see, Qualis, you're going to take 3 points of damage. Maza, you're going to take 6 points of damage. You can feel these bullets just rip through your shoulder and one into your leg a little bit. And with that, the turrets stop for just a second, and then they start winding up again as they're reloading. Maza, you are up.
So, kind of crappy at this point. So, he's going to reach down and activate his little self-healing thing again and heal himself for another 10 points. And that's another bonus action.
Yep.
And then he's just going to pop a shot off at anything that he could possibly see right now.
Well, you can see each one of them. So the one marked with a large red painted one on the side is banged up a little bit from Svoo's gun.
That is a 21 to hit.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right. Awesome. For 6 points of damage.
What's your gun? Just a regular rifle gun?
It's just a break action shot pistol, I guess.
So you hit the same one again. You see it thrown back a few feet. One of these wheels kind of grinded a little bit, starts to lose. It's kind of can't quite keep up with the other 2. It starts to kind of fade off into the distance. You can see this bright flash of where it's at. And the whole thing explodes, but you see this red ball of energy just racing towards the back end of the truck, quicker and quicker, past these other 2 drones as it comes up. Sort of a nuclear sort of little ball blast that it does when they explode. But first, BT is up. Let's make his driving. So you see he hits the gas. He's too busy looking around. He's got to get away from that thing. Get them off of us so we can get to the lab. And he hits the gas or reaches down to hit the gas, and everybody just comes to a complete jerking stop as he misses the gas and hits the brakes, apparently. I need dex saves from all of you.
Oh, God. All right. 21.
You're good.
That's a 17.
Right on the number.
I think I will just spend a second monkey point to succeed on that one.
All right.
I don't want to fail.
So
I got
y'all,
a natural 20. I wasted a natural 20.
seriously, let me see what BT gets. BT, even he passes. Damn. So all of you just kind of go into the front as, these seatbelts hold you into place. I hit the wrong pedal. Don't worry, we'll get going again. You see, he once again slams on the gas and goes to throwing back a little bit as he takes off, smashing through a pile of crates. A couple barrels get kicked out of the way. Both of these drones are right up on the back end, and this little orange reddish ball of globe just hits the back of the truck. Once again, dex saves for half damage as this thing hits everybody. It's going to be a DC 14, 9 damage on a fail, 5 on the pass. I'll let you guys know.
Well, I'm dead either way.
Oh, shit.
But I have a thing. I have a high pin threshold. So when I'm reduced to 0 hit points, I don't fall unconscious until I fail my first death save.
All right.
Because I can take a fucking punch.
Yep. I failed, so I take how much damage? 9, you said?
5.
5, okay.
I got a 22. So
If you take damage, then don't you automatically fail 2 death saves?
I think so.
It's next time, man. So are we still in the same round?
Yep, BT went up, so Yogg, you are up.
And what was the DC for that?
14.
Okay, so I took 9. All right. I look over to BT. Do you even know where you are going?
Just shut up and go to sleep or something. I'm driving this vehicle. Be the pilot. Tell me where to go or something. Make yourself useful.
He's like, we need to get to fucking hangar.
I know where I'm driving. You be quiet.
I stand up and I turn around and I put my hand on my temple and I use firebolt on one of the things within range. How much fire damage is that? Isn't that like a
D10?
Yep, D10.
6, right?
Yeah, something like that.
10.
I told you to wear a seatbelt. You can't be standing up in my cart when you're driving. You silly bastard.
I like throw up a little bit before and then like out of my forehead. And it does it does 2 fire damage. Where's the shot? And I sit back.
Yeah, actually, you get an extra D10 because of your level.
Yep. It's going to be 2D10.
Oh. In that case, it's a total of 9. 9 fire damage.
Sit your ass down. Kind of grabs you as you're trying to sit down as well and just throws you back in the seat. And once again, he starts to slow down and buckle up your damn seat. But we can't be driving around. I don't want to get a ticket. Go. Buckle up. I can sit here all day.
Ticket is what? Ticket! And I just buckle up.
And Qualisk, you are up. 2 drones are still behind you. Number 2 is damaged pretty bad.
All right, so we have our duffel bags of stuff, right?
Yep.
All right, so I am opening mine up. I will pull out my trusty grenade gun, as one has, a one-handed grenade launcher.
Yeah, why not,
And
man?
and I just pop out the concussion grenade at them. So the way this works, according to ye old Jobby here, is when you shoot a grenade attack, you pick a spot in range. All the targets in the blast must beat the... That's funny. This says reflex DC, which...
Yeah, there's a few terrors in this book I've noticed as well.
I was like, it says in 3.5. All right. So dex save or take full damage, I guess. And that's one. It's only 1d6 for a concussion. However, it says targets with not 10 hit points or less that fail the saving throw are just killed instantly. So I did 5 points of damage to something that has more than 10, which is kind of a weird way to do it. And I don't. I mean, do I roll? It's a gun, but do I? I don't. I guess I don't roll because I'm throwing a grenade.
So they have dex save?
Yeah, they make a dex save. And then it's...
All right, so that one got a 16. The other one got a, 7. So that one failed.
So that guy takes 5, and the other one takes 2, unless either of them have less than 10 hit points left, and then it just blows up.
Oh, so yeah, the one's going to blow up then. All right. So yeah, you see this turret kind of sinks back down into it as this thing speeds up right behind the truck. Once again, you see another little gun type come up the front end of this thing, turn this bright red color as it gets ready to fire off a blast. And it's just blowing into pieces with your grenade. Here, kind of bounces across the ground, bits and pieces of it, disappearing into the distance. This other one drone that's left zooms up behind. And that would be the end of the round. So, Svoo, you're up. As you're sitting in your seat, or I guess the back end of this truck with your seatbelt on, you look over, you can see this drone is like right beside you, to the right, almost within reaching distance. You can see these large, sort of robotic-like eyes kind of come up and turn, almost like the end of a stalk, like a snail, peering at you. and then both of them bright up this bright orange color as it gets ready to set off some blasts.
I'm like, my vision is going tunnel as I'm losing consciousness, but I can still, like, I still just try my darndest to get some shots off. And I should have had 4 attacks last turn instead of 2, so might be. Okay, that's gonna be a 16.
Yep.
All right. Well, if that hits, the other one hits as well. That's a 19, and a 16 again, and a 24.
Yep.
Okay, so I do this much. I do 19 points of damage this time. As I'm just like, woof, 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 and then death save, I guess.
Yep, death save.
11, I pass.
All right. So you're still conscious, right?
Yep.
Okay. And that puts the drone up, and you can see it's blowing back once, twice, three times as it gets thrown back a little bit. One of these eyes just shatters off into pieces. What's hanging left of this little bit of a turret gun that it still has hanging on there, you can hear it go click, 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 click as it starts to go through, and then this one last blast comes out of it. And it's right there in front of you, Svoo, so 20.
Yeah.
Hit, yep. With 9 points of damage, so we're actually just going to give you basically two death saves.
Yep. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So you guys look over just in time to see this huge blast go off in front of Svoo's face.
Are we doing any like lingering injury type deals?
Nope. Well, you do see
blows your hand off.
Yeah.
Okay, as you got your gun out there ready to shoot, you see Svoo's head as it turns around. Quaophrayage would be sitting next to him, and you just feel the smack of a wet tentacle as it rubs across your face and flails off behind. 3 hang left, one of them gone from Svoo's face. And the drone went. Maza, you are up. You can see this thing still keeping up with the back end of the truck, with the gun hangs off to the side a little bit, and it looks like it's pretty much just trying to track the truck at this point. Its weapons kind of grind. You hear the clicking of its gun that doesn't have any bullets left. It's got 1 hit point, so.
So it's just the one drone that's like attacking us. There's nothing like in the truck with us.
Nope, just that one drone that's zipping up beside you still.
So yeah, I would like to look at my friend's Svoo here. I don't know, medicine check or a wisdom check, like, you know, trying to assess his situation, like see how dire he is.
You can see that he's, well, unconscious at this point. Blood just pours down the front of him. His tentacles about 50 yards back, laying on the ground.
Did one of the things drive over it and crash?
Awesome. All right, so yeah, ever being the pragmatist that he is, he's going to assess the situation and judge that helping Svoo will help out their situation in the greater good. I don't know, like, can I try and stabilize him or something, or however I can help him?
Medicine check, or I don't know if you got anything to heal him, or yeah, whatever.
Medicine check for a 22.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, he got him stabilized. Looked like if you can get back to the lab in time and, you know, kind of get him hooked up and stuff, he should be able to save his life. But you're stabilized for the moment, Svoo. See, BT just presses the gas down a little bit harder. You guys are all pushed back in your seat. We've got to outrun this thing. Somebody's got to destroy it. Quaophrayage, get rid of the thing.
Faster, you fool. This man's bleeding out.
I can do that.
Actually, Yog, you were up first too, so, but he's too busy in the seat, so. So yeah, Yog, you can go first, and then Quaophrayage.
He was having trouble connecting a minute ago.
Yeah, I see he's back. He's muted though, so I don't know if you're talking, Wes.
Wesley.
He may still be having problems. If you want to go Quaophrayage, but he figures that out. It doesn't matter the order anyway.
That's fine. I will go ahead and is it, how far is it? Is it, if it just blew up in his face, it must be within.
Yeah, it's like Well, probably it's within his arm reaching distance, so it's like 3-4 feet away from you.
All right. Well, I reach out into my. Do I have that with me? I think I do in my gear. I don't. All right. Well, I guess I'll just if I can, punch it. I can walk over to the edge of the thing and reach over and smack it, or do I need to shoot at it again?
It'd be within melee range if you want to do that. Yep.
Sure, why not? That's a thing. Or I'll give it a kick. All right, that's 16 plus 7, so 23. Yep.
And you're gonna destroy it. And you only have 1 hit point. So.
That's 10 points. Punch it to death.
Give this thing a swift punch and a tentacle slap, and you just see it smash up against the wall and blow into pieces. Very good, very good. Let's get back to the lab. You can see BT just kind of slams on the gas a little bit more, taking off down these things, crisscrossing between several different little tunnel ways, smashing through crates and stuff. At one point, you see one of these military grunts step out, gun pointed at Redder, and he just runs this dude right over, pushing him into the pavement. You thump as you guys go over top of him. It takes a good 10 minutes or so between all these different things. He takes back alleyways through several different tunnels, eventually just screaming up to the top level of this wardenship, out onto the streets, between a few vehicles down the road, and then swings into the back end of this sort of dilapidated-looking building. You all know BT. He was part of the military, but he retired years ago. Now he just kind of hangs out in his labs, creating cybernetics and spying on people. He particularly likes to watch the Lady Illithids on his cameras, but besides being a creepster and all that, Peeping Tom, he's a pretty decent guy. But he swings into this lab, stops the cart, grabs a hold of Svoo, drags him across and throws him up onto a table. Reaches over, ruffling through this bag for a moment, pulls out this nice long needle and just jabs it into your chest, Svoo. It's the sharp pain just rockets through your body, and then it just feels like you just down like 1,000,000 pills of adrenaline as you're just ready to freaking rip and roar. Give yourself 14 hit points.
Nice.
And as a thingy, next time you take damage, you get to ignore it.
Whoa, that's insane. So I imagine, I just just jump up and breathing heavily. Lie back down.
Well, isn't anybody going to thank me? I mean, you all could have got your asses kicked down there.
Yeah, Cullis comes up and goes, it was some good work you did back there. Saved our asses.
Good work, but rather poor driving, if I say so.
Hey, I expect people to buckle up in my vehicles.
Hey, safety first. That's what I always say.
Exactly. Safety first. Safety first.
Well, what next, fellas? What next?
Well, so far, we've promptly escaped from a maximum security prison when we were convicted for a crime we didn't commit. Wait, we didn't commit that crime. None of you committed that, did you?
I just shake my
I mean,
head.
I might have knew a guy, but I myself did nothing.
I might have committed some crimes. I will not lie. But I don't know about the treason. I don't think that, to my knowledge, while I was sober, I committed any treachery. Any treasonous acts. I do not recall, you see.
Of course you didn't commit any treasonous acts. It's just a big operation. You all have been framed. Come, I'll show you. We got a bit of details on my scanners. BT hikes up these large sweatpant type things that he's wearing up around his beer gut a little bit. Walks over, slaps down into this large cushion chair, and you just see these tons of monitors, all kind of holographic monitors crop up around him. Some of them show, the cameras into all the Lady Illithid's bath pools and the tadpole houses and other things. Yeah, you don't mind those. We're not looking at them right now. We got details here. And you just see the screen lists of things rolling across the screen. All of you were framed. Of course you didn't commit this treason. I'm sure many of you have many things you've done wrong, but I don't care about that. But
so while this is all going on, like I have this tentacle, right? That's like it looks kind of like a USB drive. I guess kind of it snakes down. Like, can I slide it into a computer somewhere and kind of hook myself into it?
sure. What are you doing with my computers? With your tentacly little plug?
Sorry. It has a mind of its own.
Well, download whatever you wish. Now, obviously none of you committed treason or brought us grow here, but somebody did, and I know who it is. Done a bit of research, hacked a few computers, and look at this. He sees a screen crop up, and you see dozens of messages. It all looks encrypted. Some of it's coded. You can pick out different bits and pieces, locations, coordinates, there we go, of different areas, many of them referring back to where the planet of Glyph is. You see other things mentioning ambushes, things mentioning warfare, things that mention Operation Terminate. And they've all been sent by one Thesdul Zesk. You can see his timestamp on each one, roughly 24 days ago.
Oh, shit.
I think he's the one who committed that treason. I need more proof, of course. But I got the plan. You all want to save the Illithid race, right?
I'm busy looking for more of that shit that he gave me.
Damn it, Svoo. Get over here. Take a seat. I have words to speak with you.
I'll come over, but I'm like looking around as I do.
Tweaking. It'll let you tweak for a while. You'll be all right.
Is that the same guy as the monk? Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that's the man. I think he's the one who set us up. Him and the rest of the High Scions. Why? I don't know. But I want to save the race as much as the rest of us. I've got a bit of a rebel underground started. Likes of me and the likes of you fellas. The good Illithids, the ones who truly want to rule the world, but not be at the paltry mistakes of these fools in the office, the high priests, and this elder brain judge. Fools. And I have a plan. You do the dirty work, and I'll get the rest of it. Yeah? He stands up, walks over to this large work table, and you see a bluish glowing cube sitting on the table. It glows sort of faintly pale bluish color. It says, "This will save us. Been working on it for many, many years. But in order to make it work, you need a lot of power. Now, I could drain this whole warden full of power and I might activate it. But then we'd be sitting dead in space. But that's no good. I need you guys to get a Life-Jammer helm. Necessarily the node, the life node within the helm. You do that, activate this box, and the rest of the instructions will be activated then too. I don't dare give out these words and speak what must be done, because somebody could be overhearing us. And if you die and they get the box, and it can't be activated, then they still won't know what's within it. So, long story short, you get a life node, you put it right here, and he holds it something. There's a little area where you can see something like a small stone would fit. You put the stone in there, the box lights up, and it gives you instructions on what to do next. You follow those instructions, and you'll get to save the Illithid race. Become the new Scions. What say you? You do that, and I'll take care of the rest of the work here on the warden.
I'll look at the other sort of couple people around me, my other team members, and I'll just say, "Sounds like fun," and then like throw up or something really undramatic.
Well, what kind of pay are we talking here?
Pay? Do I look like I'm rich? I let you download my lady friend pictures. That's what the pay you get.
So I think it's gonna have to happen where Kullisk reaches into his duffel bag and he pulls out a big fat cigar and lights it up and he says, "Well, it sounds like you got yourself a plan, and you know what? I love it when a plan comes together."
So do I. So do I. So what say you? I mean, you can keep whatever treasures you want. You can download the nudie Illithid pictures, and well, really, you probably tapped into most of my system anyway, so you can tap into the camera system whenever you want. And watch. I mean, it's a long trip where I'm sending you. All the coordinates are set up. Ah, you need a vehicle. Good. Walks over and hits a button on the wall, and you see this big, heavy gate start lifting up. Behind is his own personal spelljamming helm ship. See, it's all decked out in black. These bright bulb lights on the front. Red pinstriping goes down the side, along the sides, and up the back end of it. It basically, I actually have a picture of it, sort of. Let me bring up the picture.
I was literally typing, "Please tell me it's black and red," and then you just described it. I'm so happy.
I'm pretty sure I saved a picture. It's not painted the right colors because I never had time. Let me share it at least. Downloads, maybe? Oh, I should have brought this up. I should have been more prepared, but let's see. Oh, crap. I guess I didn't download it to show you. That sucks. Let me check one more time here.
No.
Oh, man, it was so perfect, too. No, not that one.
What did that mean?
Ah, that sucks. Well, basically, if you guys have ever seen the large river boats that act as houses, so it basically looks like this long riverboat cabin, pontoons underneath of it, the main house part or the main cabin part itself, almost like a cruise ship, all the way down through, and then the top end is actually the big deck, which would be the roof of the house area, but it's also one
Like
massive
a
deck.
canal boat type thing.
Yes, exactly, which sucks because I had a cool picture of it, but I don't know where it went. But yeah, you see this thing open up, probably about 30 feet in length, about 15 feet wide. Skidders under the bottom of it, all decked out, painted just a nice, soft, glossy black. Has some mate black trim along the sides of it. The top deck is nice polished wood, and this red pinstriping down the side and up, sort of in the hockey stick formation. I like to call it the Flay ship, or the Flay van. And you could be the Flay-Team. So, you get the ship. Coordinates are already programmed in. Yogg can get you there. I know of a ancient Neogi hive mind. They were known for their life-jammer helms, deep within the core of this place. What do you know of life-jammer helms? Anybody know anything about life-jammer helms? Of course you don't. I don't even care if you do. I'll tell you. They strap them down like you were in that chair, and they suck the life right out of you. Starts with your testicles shriveling up like into little peanuts, up through your veins, and until you're dead. Just sucks the life right out of you. But
Yes,
for every...
you have all had bad girlfriend before.
Exactly. Just like a horrible girlfriend. Not that I would know. But for every person devoured by this life jammer helm, it goes in, the soul is sucked into the stone. The more souls, the more powerful. Neogi were the most known to have the life jammers. The Zorn, they often did as well. Sometimes the Beholders, they used them occasionally. But deep within the Neogi hive minds, the asteroid ships that they would fly around, deep within them, they have the most powerful life jammer nodes. And that is what you need. It's all been hooked up. Coordinates are on the van ship thing. You guys fly there. You get the stone. Activate the box. And the rest will come within time. Yes, good. Digs around in his pocket. Yog. Hands out this little key towards you, Yog. Take it easy, Honor. Make sure that they buckle up. I don't want nobody flying around in my Flay van.
Is
Not
it nice?
buckled.
Or is
No,
it like
it-
a piece of shit?
No, that's nice.
Isn't this a Mr. T model?
Oh, yes, it is. The best. Although, you should know that the weaponry on it is not very good. It's built for speed, to get you there as fast as you can. So, you'll have to handle... You shouldn't have any problems in space. Just hit the hyperdrive and get there as fast as possible. Nobody should be able to keep up with you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Speed is all I need.
As long as they buckle up. You all will buckle up.
I kind of clap him on the shoulder. I just say, sure we will. And then head off, and I'm going to make a point of not doing it just to piss him off.
There we go. I'll put the link into the Facebook chat. I found the ship.
Boy, oh boy.
If it works. Yeah. Basically like that, except for black with red trim. And I can share a picture of it. Actually, no, I can't. I don't know if one of you guys want to be able to share a picture of that. If I can, mine won't work at the moment, but no way for anybody watching can see what it looks like. There we go. Yeah, so basically just a slung camo, top deck, but has all black, so nice glossy black, red trim going off back, basically like the A-Team van. Thank you, Rob. So, with that, you see BT flop down back into his chair. What, you're still here? We don't have time. You got to go. Get down to your ship. Get out there and get the nod. I'll handle the rest. See him quickly typing across his keyboard. Several of these data pictures go out. And it just brings up tons of nudie pictures. So what is that?
Did you want me to share those pictures as well, or?
Yeah. Can everybody cool if we go for about 20 more minutes?
Yeah.
Hopefully Wes can. All right. So you see, he gets everything set up on your ship. When you are set and ready, I'll open the gates and you'll be off. Any last things that you need?
Do you have any more of that stuff that you put in me?
Take too much of it. You get addicted.
I don't want to hear about whatever he put in you, okay? Let's just get out of here.
Yeah, but do you have any more?
2 more needles under the table. Go ahead and take them.
Yeah, I grab them.
Use them responsibly.
I won't.
They heal 46, and like I said, the first time you take damage after you take one, it's negated.
So
Call them
I
whatever
still got
you
my
want to
little,
call them.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
So, well, I've still got my little tentacle USB thingy basically plugged into this guy's shit. I'd like to take a look around, like on anything that was mentioned, you know, like as far as like the cube and all that, and basically check out this guy's story, like on any kind of like network access that this guy would have.
You see, most of everything he has is pretty much just pornography pictures for the most part. In between, it does have the whole thing built up. He has a couple folders filled up with what kind of proof and incriminating evidence he might have on Thesdual desk. He has a whole folder of that. You can probably copy all of the messages in between. It looks like it was sent out. It gives you the coordinates into one ship called the Resistance.
Okay.
What that exactly is, you're not sure, but assumably, if what everybody thinks anyway, Thesdual is probably sending all this information to the Scroll, which is what led to the attack on Glyph. So whatever these coordinates are is probably some sort of Scroll base or ship or something which in turn went out to across the network. Beyond that, he has a whole shit ton of really shitty games from way long time ago that are outdated and retro, but that's the cool thing nowadays. So
Totally.
But yeah, otherwise he doesn't really have anything important that you don't already know or have.
Okay. So yeah, then I'll just kind of like do what I can to heal myself up or like spend or whatever the hell you want to.
The ship is already all stocked. Plenty of brains down in the cabin. 14 of them. Use them wisely. And they should have more than enough to get you to your destination. And once there, make sure you get to the heart of the asteroid. There's where you find the last jammer. The node goes right into the box. You set it in there, you push the button, and the rest, well, you'll know what to do with that. Good. Good.
So who are we putting the Spelljammer helm on? Or Life Jammer helm on?
No. You don't need to use the life jammer helm unless you want to have shrunken nuts, which I wouldn't suggest.
Right. Okay.
Just
Why don't you
just take the node,
okay.
place it in the box.
I'm
That's all
not
you got.
stuck, so I will put it on and be fine.
Why don't you come with us, Mr. BT?
I'm going to start the underground rebel group here. I'll handle the rebels, the groups, get everything set up here. All you need to do is get the box and follow the instructions. By the time you return, we'll be heroes.
So,
And the scroll will be nothing but leftovers. The Illithid will rule once again.
how many others are there?
Scrotally dominated.
Scrollily dominated. I like that.
So yeah, I tell you what, if you're gonna run a revolution, make sure you print enough pamphlets. That's all I gotta say.
Throw them
How
from the
many
top of
others are
every
there?
building.
He is not wrong. He is not wrong. I have always been swayed by good pamphlets every once in a while.
I print many pamphlets. And how many are there? Well, you four and I think Jimmy, he was going to join with me too, but I got to send him an email and find out. It hasn't quite been worked out yet on the underground. I just need the box part done first. I'll get the rest going. Don't worry. I'm planning on it tomorrow to start it. I am a bit of a procrastinator.
I understand.
And Rog, make sure that they buckle up, aye?
I'll make sure that they buckle up, but I'm really like crossholes under the top set of
Crossed.
tentacles. They'll buckle up, believe me.
All right. Go on, get out of here. I will send you messages, let you know how the revolution is going. We'll be saviors before we know it.
I like the sound of that.
One last thing. Pulls out this drawer. 4 small little boxes. He hands each one of you. When you get back, we can open these boxes and celebrate.
Oh, you got me a present.
Yes. But don't open them until then, because they'll go stale by then. Tasty good things in them boxes.
I will definitely not even peek at this. Yeah, sure. And he winks to everyone else.
All right. I think that is it. You got your noodles and your needles and your things and stocked up on the supplies. Go on. More questions. Always with the questions. What do you want? I think you're breaking up again, Wes.
I think he's lost for words.
So BT kind of sits back down in his chair. Then he starts to brings up and you see that he's playing some weird video game. What, you're still here? We don't got all day.
All right, let's get this show on the road.
I strap in big time.
You strap in, I'll strap on. Let's go.
Sounds kinky.
I wasn't in character.
women.
That's just what I was doing.
You can have all the women when you get back. There'll be tons of them who'll be heroes. I'm working on the revolution. Me and Jimmy, tomorrow, we're going to get together and mash our tentacles together a little bit, make up some pamphlets. It'll be good.
Okay, that sounds gay, but whatever. We'll see you. Goodbye.
Step into this large ship. I'll send you guys the details and the stats on the ship between the sessions. But again, everything is already decked out. You can see that weaponry-wise, it doesn't have any major cannons or anything on it. It's pretty much just built for straight speed to get you where you're going. Otherwise, top-of-the-line systems and computers still has a spelljamming helm. I guess Yogg will be taking this. It doesn't work off of spells and stuff like the typical spelljammer helm would be. It's much more fancier now, but somebody still needs to be in the main helm controlling at the bridge, basically. Controlling everything. Everybody has the spelljammer information already, so I won't worry about that. So yeah, you guys are able to head out without any much of a problem. I need... let's see. So when you sit down, Yogg's not here. You have problems. Yeah. So as all of you sit down anyway, look over. It looks like it's going to be at least 1 week, 7 days worth of travel to get to where you want. You can see the coordinates are already set in, and it looks like you're going pretty far off the Phlogiston and pretty far into deep space for this. They showed several different diagrams and like computer models of the asteroid that you're headed to. It doesn't have a name or anything. The coordinates quite far away out there. Like I said, 7 days. Yogg's able to lock everything in and take off. It's almost instantly you're thrown into hyperdrive and you're just cruising through space. Pretty much no problems going on. So first day passes, second and third. What do you guys do to keep busy for the couple of days here on the ship?
I do a lot of snoozing with my hat pulled down over my eyes.
Lounged back in the chair.
Yeah, just chilling. And trying to just ignore everyone and recoup my various horrific injuries.
Yeah, everybody can heal themselves up to max hit points, basically.
Yeah, I'm going to be, I train, go into the gym and do I have like a Rocky montage, where I go into the gym and I punch the body bag and then the scene cuts and I'm, doing the speed bag, and then the scene cuts and I'm like running up a snowy mountain and lifting a big wagon on the ship.
It's the hologram.
Everyone who's hands to Maza Tharn, like every time the camera goes to him, he's like in some random body part of his own, like with a pair of tweezers or pliers or something, like wrenching on stuff.
That's right.
Every time you twitch that, that wire in your leg, your tentacle flips to the side a little bit.
Yeah, right.
You're like Tetsuo the Iron Man.
Yeah.
And Yogg, what are you doing as these few days pass? No. I think you're still having audio problems. Can't hear you. Nope. Maybe. Nope, we can't hear you. Yogg flies the ship for a while, sets everything onto hyperdrive and autopilot. But yeah, your 3 days pass. Everybody can go ahead and, like I said, put your hit points, everything, refresh everything back to fresh for you, as you'll be able to get several full rests in. Because you're sitting there on the 4th day, relaxing. You can see the systems themselves look a little weird.
I'm just with.
Yeah, we can't hear a word you're saying, Wes.
Oh, what was that? That was just. How about now?
Now I hear you.
I don't know what happened. Absolutely nothing. I don't know why.
That was just the ship's
I don't
power
know why.
lock.
You just screamed across the intercoms and blew everybody's eardrums out.
Oh, I did.
No, we can hear you now, though. So, what do you do for these first few 4 days of space travel?
Oh, I'm just, it's, everyone's doing all these amazing things, and it just cuts to me, and I'm just like, oh, what? Nope, that was just in the Justin, I think. Nope. Could it be a fart? Yep, definitely fart. No, that was and I'm just guessing at my body functions. Just I've run out of to do while I'm driving, and I'm thinking out loud.
Lonely in the bridge all by himself because nobody wants to be around him at the moment, apparently. So yeah, as you're on the bridge, then Yog, you can see one of your computer screen flits a little bit weird, glitches for a second, and then another one glitches, and you can feel the ship almost feels like it's losing power or something, and then all of a sudden everything is just thrown out of whack for a few seconds, and you see the hyperdrive comes to an end. You can feel everything stops for a moment. Your screens pop up, and you get warnings across all these different screens. Qualis, maybe you're up on the top deck just having run up the stairwell and doing your little thing at the top there for a moment. The other two, as you kind of pushed forward, Svoo, your hat kind of flops down, and you're looking outside this window in front of you. And Maza, as you're working on one of these wires in your body, from the corner of your eye, you see something. It's a small flash of light on metal that catches your attention first. It causes you to peer into the distance of this darkness of space. And this large shape moves towards you, back and forth, like some sort of Illithid tadpole within the brine pool, just back and forth. The speed of the thing, though, is incredible. And before you realize it, you're staring at the form of some great beast as it speeds towards your ship. What can only be described as a massive shark, armed with weaponry, and a mouth filled with rows upon rows of dagger-sized teeth. It is on a path of attack. The great white belly of the creature catches the light and glimmers like steel plating. The rest of its thick gray hide is mottled with scars. Upon its back stands a humanoid creature, pale, jaundiced skin, pulled tight over its bones, and it holds onto a pair of chains that have been wrung through the dorsal fin of the shark, sort of snapping them like reins as it speeds towards you. On the other hand, you see this large rifle that it holds up in the air. Behind it, 3 more other creatures appear out of the darkness of space. Together, they converge on your ship, 2 on either side. And if my screen share works, I do have a picture of this, so let's try it.
I speak and brace for fuck.
All right, and I hope this works because this is an amazing picture.
If not, you can just send it to me and I'll.
Screen share. Window. Yeah, I think it might work. There we go. Does it work?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Holy shit.
So you see on either side of a ship, out your side windows on either side, 2 of these things on either side pull up. And as you look through, you can see the yellow band around the eyes and the light-up visors of these Skrull upon their warships. Each fin on the side of these sharks is loaded with 2 missiles on each side, this large turret Gatling gun on the back, and this man holding the rifle, or these soldiers holding these rifles. And they swim kind of in space along the side of your ship as it's pulled through the Phlogiston. You see 2 of them lift up out of the way. 2 others, the turret guns swing around, pointing in your direction. And with that is where we will end tonight.
No.
Let's see if I can stop the screen share.
Come on. A space shark scrow.
That's right.
It's pretty fucking metal.
I'm gonna space
Fucking
shark.
laser beam.
Jesus Christ, that thing's scary.
All right. So
All I want is sharks with freaking laser beams.
And
In
that's what you've
space, ridden by futuristic space orcs.
Is that
Are
too
they
much?
surrounded by
to
a tornado by any chance?
got. It will be now. All right. Awesome. Thank you, guys. I'm going to end this broadcast. Thanks anybody who watched. And next time, we'll figure out the details later, and we'll head into episode 2.
Woo! Attack of the Space.